Hey everybody, welcome back to Baseline Farms. My name is Jade. Hope everyone's doing well. So you guys, we've had some crazy rain. We've had rain, a lot of it. Let's see, yesterday it rained a good portion of the day. No, was it yesterday? Yesterday was Saturday, today's Sunday. So on Friday, it rained for pretty much a good portion of the day. And we had some good rain on Wednesday as well. So yeah, a lot of rain, which is nice because we need it. And it's time because we are in November. You guys, we are in November and I just finally harvested, I feel, as many tomatoes as we're going to get for the rest of this season. And that's kind of a bummer. I was hoping we were going to continue to harvest because I thought maybe we were going to stay in the 70s, but I feel like we are officially into this fall weather and I need to start amending some of these beds because I need to start getting some onions. In the last video, I made the bread and that is, oh my goodness, you guys, so delicious. So, I showed you those onion sets. I need to get some of those onion sets into the garden bed. But today I want to give you a tour as to what is happening in the garden beginning of November, at least what's happening in my garden. So starting off with this little garden bed right over here. So this is a little 4x8. I have some carrots right over here in the very front that are doing really good. And I'm hoping that we're going to be able to harvest these carrots and use them in our Thanksgiving feast. That's my hope. I wish I planted more. I wish I started more, but I'm learning. Every year I'm getting better, and every year I'm learning when to start my seeds, how much to start, things like that. And now I feel like I could start more carrots because this little area, so we have a lot of birds, and I hope you guys can hear me. It's pretty windy today. I didn't think it was going to be this windy. It wasn't this windy when I started. Yeah, hopefully you guys can hear me over this wind. Wow, this is crazy. When I first came out here earlier today, it was not this windy at all. And then, of course, right when I started doing the vlog, it starts becoming windy. Okay, so in this garden bed, I did succession sow some more seeds, some carrot seeds right in this little area. And some of them are coming up, but not a lot of them because we do have a lot of birds. And I did not put any netting over this garden bed. And I just have to do that every time I succession sow seeds into my garden beds. And I feel that what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to start some seeds in some trays, like not so much the carrots, but spinach, maybe some lettuce, and I'm trying to think what else. I think that's pretty much it. I want to start a few of those things, maybe some broccoli, and just so that way I can start them and the birds are not going to get them. They can be nice and hardy. And then I could transfer them into the garden beds. Normally, I just succession sow. I just plant the seeds right into the garden beds. I don't use, for the fall garden, I don't use any seed trays usually. But we've been having some struggles with some birds and some voles, and my seeds have been getting eaten up. And I keep having to, to do more seeds. So like in this garden bed, we have a bunch of spinach, but you can't tell because I feel like the birds ate a lot of them. So we just have a couple little ones right here, and they keep coming in and they keep eating the tips of the spinach, so it doesn't give them a fighting chance to grow. But we do have a couple carrots right in here. So my goal is to probably just come in through here, pull all the weeds out, and then re-sow the seeds, and then put netting over the top of it, or do some indoor stuff. I don't know. I don't want to plant any seeds in the trays because that just makes more work, and the fall garden is supposed to be easy garden, and I just want to kind of keep it that way. So I don't know. I might not do that. Maybe next year. Maybe I'll start that routine next year. But there's so many weeds. Like this one right here is so big. I just have to get it. Sorry, guys. Sometimes, this is the first time I walked through the garden today. So whatever I'm seeing, you're seeing for the first time. I'm seeing, oh man, I pulled out a carrot. See, that's why I don't like to weed the garden beds when they have food in. There we go. That's satisfying. There's another one. Okay, one more. Okay, there we go. That's it. All right, off to the next garden bed. Okay, so over here in this garden bed, we have some beans. And so some of the beans are super big, and I'm going to let them dry up on the pot, on the vine. And so that way I could save the seeds for next year. So we're just going to go ahead and leave some of these big ones like this one right here on the vine and let them just go to seed. So that is what's happening for the green beans. We're definitely going to have to take these out. And I have two different varieties in here. I have the Blue Lake beans, the long beans. Let me show you. And I have the Python pole beans. So on one side we have the Python pole beans, and then this one is the Blue Lake bean right here. And we do have like these some longer ones right here. Oh, this one's good. I can harvest a few of these. Oh, this one's been eaten. See that? But I'm letting some of them go to seed, so I'm going to save the seeds. But this one, we can harvest this one. But so slowly, there's not that many. There's not that many beans, the long beans in here. So it's time. It's time to take those out because we are getting some cooler weather. I think we're going to be having some 40-degree temperatures where the low is going to be in the 40s and the high is going to be in the 50s or like 60s or something like that. But over here we have our tomatoes. Look at that, you guys. I just harvested a bunch of tomatoes, and like I said, there's two of them in there. And so, yeah, I did not get that many tomatoes this year. I'm kind of bummed out about it. I feel like with me starting the seeds a little later, and, you know, then we had that super hot, like, heat wave that came through here. The tomatoes didn't grow during that heat. Like it didn't, all the blossoms kind of fell off and they didn't develop. So that's kind of a big bummer that I didn't get that many tomatoes. But whatever I have, I'm going to go ahead and I only made a couple jars of spaghetti sauce, and we went through a lot of spaghetti sauce last year. And so I have a few more these Roma tomatoes that I could maybe chop up and do some canned diced tomatoes. So that's probably what I'm going to do with my leftover tomatoes. Some of them we're going to eat fresh, and then the rest of them, before they go bad, I'm going to chop them up and can them that way. But that is pretty much what has been going on. I am so happy with the beans, everything that we planted this year. I feel like I've been pretty satisfied with. Everything's been going really, really well. So let me show you what's happening in the other garden bed with the turnips. Is that pretty much what's happening in this? Yeah, with the turnips. All right, so over here in this garden bed, we have our turnips. And the turnips are already, I see little bulbs forming already. So that's so exciting. Ever since I've been putting the netting, ever since I put the netting on, we haven't had any problems with birds. So all the seeds that I've started are coming up. We have some beets in this row. We have 2 rows of turnips, and we have 3 rows of carrots. Now, I feel like I have to, you know, put down some more carrot seeds, because when I put up the netting, it was already too late. A bunch of birds already got in here, and they were still getting in here through the netting. So I did put a second layer of netting over the top, and ever since I put a second layer of netting, I haven't had any bird problems. But I'm probably going to have to get a smaller netting, because these, I don't know how they're getting in. There was no holes. I have no idea. But so far, so good. Everything's doing really well. And like I said, I'm going to plant some more carrot seeds and hopes that we get some more carrots, because we can still plant, like in our zone 9, we can still plant some carrots. We can still plant turnips. You can still plant spinach. Those are all cold. They can handle the cold, the light frost. So yeah, so that's probably what I'm going to do. Now over here, in this garden bed, this is where I started some spinach in this first row, and I started some peas against the trellis. And I started quite a few peas, but then again, I did not put the trellis up right away, and so birds ate my stuff. So disappointed in myself, because I should know better. Oh, we have a little tomato plant growing. It's not going to make it. So that's what's happening. So I'm gonna plant some more seeds for the spinach, and I'm gonna do a couple more peas right here, and then let's see what else I need to do. I'm probably gonna do some more broccoli, because we have 1 row of broccoli kind of coming up towards the end over there. Let me show you. Let me go to the other side, and that one's coming up. Some of the carrots are coming up, but not that many. Let's see, like right over here. Do you see that? We have that nice little row of broccoli right here. This one right here, we have some carrots that are actually looking pretty good. But I feel like I could still, there's some spots that are sparse that I can probably add some more carrots to. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to add some more carrots in some of those little empty areas. I'll just put some seeds down. And yeah, there's so much stuff is going to be happening next week. I need to amend a bunch of beds so I can get those onions in here. So here in this garden bed, we have some green onions. This is the garden bed where we have the bowls. I have not done anything to the garden bed. John put some kind of vole stuff. I don't even know what that is. Like, must be some sort of poison or something like that in the garden bed, in hopes that we, you know, capture or kill these voles, because these voles are horrible. They are scratching the sides of the containers. I'll show you in just a little bit, like some of these commercial pots. I have a lot of plants in here that go to commercial landscapes where we do commercial landscaping at, and the voles are scratching the pots and literally eating the roots of some of these plants. So yeah, we can't have that, because these plants are already sold. Yeah, they're already sold to other companies or to other places. So we need to really kind of get rid of that and get that vole thing under control. Now I feel like they're not affecting any of the other beds. So I don't know. Maybe they're just hibernating. I have no idea. But I haven't seen any lately. But I did see those pots that, you know, that have those scratches. Matter of fact, let me just show you before I forget. Look at that. Do you see that? The voles are literally scratching through the containers to get the roots of this plant. So that's horrible. We cannot be having that. That is not okay. So now I feel like I have to, you know, put everything a little higher so that way they can't get to them. But yeah, we definitely had to fix that problem. But this is how this garden bed's doing. We have a bunch of green onion that we can still eat, that's still edible, and some strawberries that I definitely want to transplant. And I feel like maybe wintertime is the best time when everything's kind of dormant. And it's not so hot, because when I took out the other strawberry plants, I think I might have killed them. I still haven't taken them out of the container yet, because I'm thinking maybe they might come back, but I don't know. We'll see. Now let me share with you what's happening with the Jerusalem artichokes. All right, so here are the Jerusalem artichokes. They are so tall, and it's ready. They're ready to, I could to harvest all the stalks. Like, just cut back all the stalks, and when I'm ready to use the Jerusalem artichokes, I could just go ahead and dig up the tubers and, you know, what is it? Make the brine. So with these, how I learned the recipe is I just Googled how to preserve Jerusalem artichokes, also known as sunchokes, and a bunch of different recipes came up. So I just picked out one of them that I thought might taste delicious. And I might just pick out a different one, because the one I tried had all different types, like a turmeric and things like that. And it was so good. So there's so many different recipes. So I might just pick out a different recipe and maybe put these in a different type of flavored brine for this season's Jerusalem artichokes. But I feel like we're going to have a really good harvest when we bring, I don't think we could bring the excavator in here, because I do have some asparagus growing in here. So I'm just probably going to have to hand dig these out. But we'll see. We'll see what's going to happen. But that is what's happening as far as the Jerusalem artichokes are going. Amazing. I mean, this plant is amazing. You can't beat it. I heard it's a really good crop to have in your garden. It's great for your gut health. It's easy to grow. It grows profusely. It's very invasive, so you want to make sure you put it in a container. And yeah, but it's amazing. Okay, so here we have our lemongrass. Our lemongrass is phenomenal, doing amazing. I can't even say there's nothing. This plant is just an amazing plant. It smells good. It continues to give us shoots over and over again. They're easy to grow. It's very low maintenance. You can use it for many things. I have not done like oils or anything like that, but I have used it in soups and in teas, and it is so good. It has a very robust lemony flavor, and it's just so easy, and you don't really have to do much. Look at that. I probably fertilize it maybe twice a year, which I'm probably gonna fertilize it, give it some slow release fertilizer just for the fall season, and that's pretty much it. So let me show you how the blackberry bush is doing. Here we have the blackberry bush. It's doing good. You know, has all these new shoots. I'm hoping that we're going to get a lot of new blackberries or just blackberries for the season for next year, or, you know, whenever it gives off some blackberries. Yeah, so it's doing good. It's still super lush, really green. I did fertilize it with some berry tone, and I just sprinkled it over the top, and then I just scratched into the soil and watered it in real good. And I did that probably, I want to say a couple months ago. And I don't think I'm going to do it again because that's a 6 months supply. I think it's a 6 month slow release or something like that. So in another 6 months, I could probably give it some fertilizer. But so far, so good. I think it's doing really well. And I hope it gives me some blackberries for the, you know, for the coming season. So over here in this garden bed, this is where we started a bunch of garlic. And it's all coming up. It's looking great. I cannot wait. Now, I did plant some spinach in here as well, but I don't see any of it. Like, I see these little things right here, and I'm afraid to pull them out because I'm afraid, what if that's spinach? But also it could be a weed. So I'm not even too sure. I'm going to have to wait a little bit longer till some of these get a little bigger to see if it's going to be a weed or if it's going to actually be spinach. So I'm hoping that we get some spinach. That's my goal. My goal is, I hope that the birds didn't eat all of my seeds, and I hope we get some spinach. But let me go ahead and show you what is happening over here on the trellis. A bunch of tomatoes is happening. That's what's happening on the trellis. But I think this is pretty much where it's going to stop. I don't think it's going to grow any more than this. Let me show you what it's looking like. All right, so I think this is as far as it's going to go. I don't think it's going to get any taller than this. I feel that next year what I'm going to do is I'm going to plant some pole beans over here so that we can have this whole thing full of, you know, just beautiful trellising things. And I think that's just going to be amazing. Plus, we do have a wedding next year that I'm so excited about. And so we are getting the farm ready for that. But we have so many beautiful tomatoes, you guys. Look. Oh, sorry. Look at that. Look how pretty those are. Aren't those so, oh my gosh, you guys. We're going to have some, now our temperatures are going down, but it's not freezing. So I'm really, really praying that these tomatoes are going to ripen up. I don't think so. I don't think so. Do you see that one? Look at that. Oh, look at these. I don't think so, but you know, a girl can dream, because I definitely want some tomatoes for this year. So I'm really hoping that, you know, maybe we'll just get a couple of days of some warm weather, just enough for those tomatoes to ripen up, and then, yeah, it'll be amazing. So over here in this garden bed, this is where we have some potatoes, and there's a bunch of potatoes kind of sprouting up here and there. So I am excited to get some potatoes because that's just going to be so much fun. I do have some more potatoes that are sprouting in the kitchen, you know, just regular store-bought potatoes. So I might just bring them in here and pop them in here. And oh my God, you guys, we have mushrooms growing in the garden bed. And those look like edible mushrooms. I don't know. I don't eat random mushrooms out and about, you know? You know what I mean? Might be some psychedelic stuff. But, yeah, we got some mushrooms. Let me show you. That's so cool. Look at that. That is so neat. I mean, I do use mushroom compost for my soil, but that is the coolest thing to see the mushrooms growing. That means my soil is doing really, really good to have that, you know, mushroom. So what I'm probably going to do is just take those mushrooms, break them up into the soil and fertilize the soil, you know, put that back into the soil. So that is so awesome. But what is this tag? So yeah, so that is looking so good. All the beautiful little potatoes are growing. I cannot wait. Now look at this hot mess right here. So that is some zucchini that is ready to be taken out. I just haven't been out here tending to it or harvesting anything. So you can see there's a big one right there, huge one. So it's time. It's time to take these out. And I could probably sow some or start my onion sets right there. But then look at the blackberry. Oh no, this is the raspberry bush. It's not dead, you guys. It might make a comeback. I hope so. I hope that it's just like one big, beautiful raspberry bush one day, and we could just pick the raspberry bush, raspberries right off the plant. I cannot wait. So the other day I made some zucchini. I made two types. I made regular zucchini brownies, and I made just a regular brownie. And let me tell you, those zucchini brownies stay so, so moist. Okay, so here are the little strawberry plants. You know, you guys, I think they're making a comeback. I think I was wrong. I don't think I'm going to take him out. I feel like, look at this one. This one's making a little, look at this. See this little guy? He's not dead. I mean, this one, it looks crispy. Yes, it looks crispy, but I see some new growth right in here. Little new growth right in there. I don't know. I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it. My gut instinct says to just leave it. And next year, this is going to be one beautiful, beautiful little strawberry patch. And there's going to be beautiful strawberries. So I think I'm going to leave it. At first, I was like, I don't know. I'll just leave it. We'll see what happens. I might just cut some of this foliage back because it looks horrible. But yeah, let's just see what happens. Let's see if the strawberry plants are really, truly that hardy. All right, because I heard they're super hardy, so let's see. But let me show you how the Roma tomatoes are doing. Oh my goodness, little gust of wind. All right, these Roma tomatoes, let me show you how they're doing. All right, they're doing. Look at this. I don't think they're going to, oh look, there's a red one. I don't think they're going to do good. I don't think any of them are going to make it. I feel like these guys, they're looking a little weird, you know. So I think it's time to have to pull these out, which is a bummer. I'm so sad. But look at the eggplant. Oh, you guys, I hope I get some eggplant this year. Look at all the blossoms. Isn't that so cool? There's that one eggplant right in here. Right there. I can't wait to harvest these. I hope a whole bunch of them come in because I want to make some dishes with them before, you know, before the season where we don't get any fresh eggplant come into play. Because I would really love to get some eggplant. And I could see so many of them forming. So I'm hoping that we get some eggplant soon. Some more. I have 2 of them in the refrigerator. And for the recipe, I need at least 6. So we have 2, we have 4. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. So in this garden bed, not only do we have the eggplant, but I also have a bunch of garlic that's coming in. And I also planted some spinach and some lettuce. And then again, I did not put any, you know, covering over the top of it. So I don't think we're going to get any spinach or lettuce because I think the birds ate it. That's a bummer, you guys. Especially when you're hoping to get something and then you don't. But I noticed that I have some of the garden bed has some nasturtiums growing. I think that's a nasturtium. Oh, no, that's a weed. No, that's a weed. All right, so that is what's happening in this garden bed. I feel that I do want to plant, maybe I could plant some onions into this garden bed as well, like in some of the bare spots, because I have quite a few onion sets that I definitely want to plant in the garden because I did plant some onions last year and the onions were, oh my gosh, so amazing, so delicious. Yeah, I loved it. All right, so here we have, let me get out of the shadow. Here we have our Myers lemon, you guys. I think it's time. I feel like I can harvest the lemons now. This is my first time ever harvesting any sort of lemon. And I think we could do it. I'm afraid to because I don't know if it's time or not. Are they going to get bigger? Or is this the size they're going to stay since the plant is so small? I've had this Myers lemon tree for so long, and I had it planted in a different spot before I even thought about gardening or anything like that. And then once I really started getting into gardening, I popped it over here into this wooden box, and it started, you know, this year started showing blossoms and things like that. And then we started getting fruit. And so I don't know. This is my first time. I think I've had this tree for a long, long time. Over 10 years. It has to be over 10 years for sure. But this is so exciting. So if anyone has any advice on when, like, do these just fall off on their own? Or do I have to pull them off? I don't know. I'm not even too sure. I feel like I think I just have to squeeze them. And when they're soft, that's when they're ready to go. It's not like I've never picked lemons before. I have, but I've never picked my own lemon tree. So, I don't want to make a mistake. But that is how the Myers lemon's doing. Now let me show you how the beefsteak tomatoes are doing. Okay, so here are the beefsteak tomatoes, and this is it. This is the tomatoes this is the garden bed that I had to put the shade cloth over the top because the tomatoes couldn't handle it. And we haven't really gotten that many tomatoes from these tomatoes. I don't know, it's just the variety. Maybe the variety couldn't handle the heat. But yeah, we did not get any of the tomatoes, like none. I'm not saying none, we did get some, maybe a handful, probably 10, maybe, if that, maybe 9. But that's how these beefsteak tomatoes are doing. I'm not too sure if I'm going to plant. I got to find out what variety this is that I planted in here. I think they're just called beefsteak tomatoes, and I believe they're by Burpees. I don't know if I'm going to plant this variety again because it just couldn't handle the heat at all, and the leaves were all curled in, and then I didn't get any fruit at all during that heat cycle. So yeah, I'm probably not going to plant these again, but I definitely want to plant the pink Berkeleys. I did not plant any of the tie-dye pink Berkeleys. I did not plant any of them this year. I don't know why. I really liked them. And so this winter, I really am going to go through our seed catalog and go through there and pick out all the seeds that I want for our springtime and be a little ahead of the game and make sure I start my seeds. I just want to make sure I start my seeds on time. And next year, I just want to have a full garden of just everything growing at the same time, where I don't know. I just have this vision of what my garden's going to look like next year with flowers and everything. And I just feel it's just going to look so beautiful because, like I said, we have a wedding planned for next year. Our son's friend's getting married over here. And I just want to have this garden just look like a beautiful English garden with flowers growing here and there. And whether it be in the garden beds or on the outside of the garden beds, but that is my goal. So I'm going to start doing that and start getting things ready for the season. But let me show you how the green beans, the other green beans that we have, let me show you how those are doing. All right, so this is how they're doing. I have not picked that many green beans out from here at all. They have been super tiny. They just stay really small and they don't get any bigger. Just very, very small. So I don't know why I'm not getting a lot of green beans from this patch. I just feel now it's just time to take these all out. It's time for me to amend the beds. And it's just time for me to get everything ready for the fall. For just the fall garden. Because, like I said, weather is getting cooler, which I'm loving. I do like the cold weather because we've had so much warm weather. Oh, wow, look at all these mushrooms, you guys. Look at all those mushrooms. Oh, my goodness. These edible mushrooms? No, look at that. That is so cool, you guys. Oh, it smells like an edible mushroom. I'm going to have to Google that. Man, if anyone knows if these mushrooms are edible, I'm going to have to Google this or find someone that knows because that is so cool. But that's just, it's because we used a bunch of mushroom compost. And so that's really awesome. But that is how this garden bed is doing. We do have these. Oh, look, we have a zucchini right there. Right there. Ready to go. So we have these zucchini plants that I put the seed in a few months ago, and they're doing fantastic. So I'm just going to keep letting them grow, and I'm going to pull out the other zucchini. But that's how the green beans are doing right here in this garden bed. I'm going to clear out all the green beans and start planting onions. Okay, so over here we have our cherry babies. And yes, I could take out all these weeds, and we're going to definitely amend this garden bed as well and put some onion sets right in there. Probably the whole thing, maybe some peas on this side. I don't know. We'll see. And then here are the cherry babies. And we look at these. Oh my goodness. So many, you guys. But I don't think they're going to. I pulled off all the cherry tomatoes. There's a few more red ones I'm going to take off. But that's pretty much it. I think that's the end of the season for these cherry tomatoes. And then as for the peppers, I'm going to keep letting them grow because there's a ton of peppers. Still, I'm going to wait for them to get a little bigger. And then I'm going to harvest all the peppers. And peppers, I'll just wait until we get our first frost. And then that's when I'll take out the peppers. And I probably won't even cut them back. I probably won't remove them. I'll just cut them back. But then over here, this is where we have our Cherokee purples. And look, oh, you guys, I just want these to all come, become red. I know I could harvest them while they're still green, but I just want to harvest a lot of these. Yeah, I just want them to get to full, their full, what is it called? Like, I don't know what it's called, but when they get to the full term of their growth, I just want to harvest some really nice big red tomatoes. I didn't get that many. All right, so I never harvested the dahlia because I loved coming out here and looking at it. And now that one's almost coming to an end, I am going to cut that back. So I definitely need to start planning a bunch of things to do for the garden for next week. And we have a bunch of things to do outside of the farm, like planting containers and things like that. So yeah, so many projects, always so many projects. And then what else? I think that's pretty much it for this big garden. We haven't worked on the bridge very much. We did harvest a ton of pomegranates. Oh my goodness, I got to show you the harvest of pomegranates. And then over here, let me show you. So our chickens, unfortunately, are going to be cooped up for a little while. We're not going to let them out because we are planting seed, grass seed, over there by our pool area next to our walnut tree, which I am so excited, you guys, because there's nothing like walking on grass barefoot. I just want to walk on grass barefoot all the time. I hope you guys can hear me over this wind. It's so crazy windy, just all of a sudden. So nuts. All right, so here we are in the little garden. Let me show you. So this is how the little garden's doing. It's doing good. I mean, I can't really complain. Let's see. It's kind of dark in here. It's daylight savings, you guys. So it's going to be getting darker sooner, which is a bummer. But here's the little garden. I have to cut back all those zinnias. It's just so hard when you see color on them. We have a ton of little baby zinnias, which I don't know if they're going to do well in the cooler weather, but we're just going to let them go. We still have some eggplants that I need to harvest. Yeah, just a bunch of things. Look at that. We still have the ranunculus all coming in, right in there. Do you see that? Looking so good. Everything's looking so good. So that is how the little garden's doing. So fantastic. I mean, some of these flowers, you guys, all I do is I just pick them off because these are all seeds. So you can, I've saved a bunch of them, and then you just pick them off, and then you just, let the wind carry them. That's what I do. I just let the wind carry them to wherever they want to land. And then I'm hoping that I get a bunch of, random seeds planted everywhere. But look at these calendulas. Aren't those so pretty? Now, I heard you can make a salve for this, like for burns or other things. I'm not too sure. But I really liked these flowers. And I thought these flowers are so pretty. But I should learn how to make, if that has some kind of medicinal purposes. Look at this. I know this one's all dried up at the bottom, but it's so pretty when it's, when it's vibrant, when it's first starting out. It's so beautiful. So that is how the little garden's doing. Not much happening. Now, let's see. We haven't gotten back our lambs yet, but we should be getting them back soon. And so I cannot wait to get those ones back. But let me show you where we're going to be putting the grass. Let me show you the pomegranates. Oh my goodness, it's so crazy. Look at that. So we're going to put the grass right over there. There's one of our guys helping out. Putting some amendments down. Kind of raking it. So we're going to put some grass right over there. But look at these. Look at our pomegranates. Oh, look at that. You guys, isn't that so cool? That's not all of them. We still have more out there. Oh, look at the herds coming. There's Mira. There's Hank. There's Val. There's Jack. Oh my goodness. We're missing one of them. Captain. So we have another one that's a Great Pyrenees, Anatolia Shepherd. And that one is not killing. No, it's not killing. It hasn't killed anything yet. But it is, it's like tormenting our chickens. It's pulling all the feathers. Like it's the other day I came out, I heard my chicken squawking, and it had one in its mouth. And then the couple of days, before that, I saw a bunch of feathers, and I noticed one of my chickens is missing some feathers. And now, well, they're not going to be out free ranging for a while, but now they're too scared to come out of their little area. So yeah, we're definitely going to have to nip that in the butt because I am not willing to lose any of my chickens. I only have 19 of them, and some of them are a little older, so they're not giving me a lot of eggs right now. Plus, it's a little colder. Plus, if any of them are like under stress or anything like that, then they don't give off eggs. So if the weather changes dramatically, or like, you know, if they're getting their feathers ripped out, or if something's scaring them, yeah, they don't want, they're too scared. Oh, look at this little guy. Oh, this is little Val. She's so cute. Oh my goodness. They're so big. They're so big, all of our dogs. So that is how everyone's doing. Oh, look, this is little Jack. They torment him. Here, Jack, come here. Come here. This little guy. They torment this little guy. They all gang up on him. Huh. Oh, he's so cute. This is little Jack. He's so cute. Do you see him? He's adorable. But this is how the farm is doing. The farm is doing fantastic. Everything's doing really well. We definitely need to, I definitely need to start redoing some containers, going out to the job sites and doing containers and things like that. So that is what's happening on the farm. Things are growing. Everything's doing really well. So hopefully everyone's doing good out there. And now the weather's changing. Fall weather is here. So take care, be safe, happy planting if you guys are planting a fall garden. And I hope you guys try some sourdough bread, or at least try to make some, and you will not be so disappointed. And you might just want to always have bread on hand or something like that, you know. So take care, be safe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.